And now, from Glasgow.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Good evening.
Get ready to the countdown.
Good evening, everybody. How are we? Right, so first of all, what's the volume like on the music? I've got a feeling it's a little bit too loud, but I'm going to wait for you guys to feed back to me. So hello, everybody. First comment of the day goes to Athol, which just made me laugh. I nearly spat my coffee out. Must be that time of the week we sit and watch the cats do their thing while Penny tries to amuse us. Evening. So how are you? So we are going to finish off Bellhead today, and I really don't think there's an awful lot to do. I'm sort of looking at it and thinking, if I just did an extra hour last week, sorry, maybe I could have got it done, but it's okay because we can start on the next figure. The next thing to tell you is tomorrow's stream may not happen. I have a private hire job at work, which I'm hoping to be back for, but private hires are funny things because they can be finished earlier, they can be late. I did a private hire once when they went to Ayr Racecourse and they all came out drunk, they came out late, and then the guy who was organising the tour wanted everybody to be dropped off outside their house, which meant I got back about an hour and a half late. So it's, you know, but sometimes you just like pick them up, drop them off, done. So it is a possibility tomorrow's stream may not happen. You may also notice new background. I'm starting to unpack what we have done today. Thank you, Linda, for all your help. We've taken the shelves down off the back, and I've been doing a little bit as much as I can in the mornings. So we've got all of the boxes into here. Spear and Glue, how are you? Says hiya, Penny. So yeah, we've got the boxes packed in now. I was doing a bit of 3D printing this morning, nothing major. I've got myself a miniature holder now, and this one's pretty cool because it comes with a base, so that if you've got a large miniature, you can just put it on the base so it doesn't fall over, and it fits everything perfectly. You've got little cutouts for the square bases, you've got small holes, big holes, and it goes, basically your maximum base size is about that. It's absolutely brilliant, but I think it might have been a little bit better in plastic. How'd you guys get on during Black Friday? I have found it very, very hard to resist spending money. There's two printers I want to buy, which it's unwise to buy them now, but one's a bigger bed resin printer and one's a big bed FDM printer. I've got my two Ender 3s, which are still in the attic. They're in the attic so that I can resist the temptation to use them. So yeah, Dominique says, evening Penny. Hello Dominic, how you getting on with your 48-hour build? I've been picking little bits of it up today, but obviously I've been doing all sorts. Athol McNichol says, evening David and Dom, and I am going to go table down. Why is my music no longer playing? That's strange, isn't it? Anyway, so Athol says, I bought another Kill Team and Chinese soup spoons in the Black Friday sale. Well, I did actually buy something, Well, it's a funny story actually. So I bought some STL files, miniatures and all sorts of things. And when I got them, well, it took a week for me to get them. And I'd already started to raise a PayPal dispute because they'd given me this link and it was to some drive, but I had to buy this software at like 70 quid a year, and I'm like, I'm not paying 70 quid to download 30 quid's worth of files. But I managed to have a chat with the people and they gave me a direct link to their Google Drive. Alright, fine. Started to look through all of the figures, and there are loads and loads of Loot Studio figures, other subscription companies, and I'm like, I can't use these because they're obviously pirated. And I checked out with Loot Studios, and I'm like, no, I can't use them. So I've updated my dispute with PayPal, because the thing is, if I attract any attention on my live streams and Loot Studios gets hold of it, and which is great, you know, if they do, but then if they see me doing pirated STL files, are they going to come after me? So I couldn't do it. But I did buy a couple of things in the Black Friday sale, and I have they've actually dropped next month's files a little bit early. So our Draconians, Rise of the Draconians, has already dropped. So I'm looking forward when I move house to printing that Draconian off. I've also bought at a 33% discount the Phoenix Forge, which I'm very excited about, because it's got a phoenix and I just love phoenixes. So I'm probably not going to give you guys a choice on the next build, on the next paint. Obviously we're going to do him next, but after that I think we're going to go, we've got some ideas on how to paint this phoenix. And then I thought what we might do after that, unless you guys want to do something different, I thought we'll do the Valhalla campaign. And what the Valhalla campaign is, it's 4 bundles. Let me pull up Loot Studios and I can show you. Now, what I'm wondering is, will it's obviously it's going to take a long time to sort out. Bear with me, I'm just trying to find it now. Loot Studios, where are you? Can't find it. Entire screen. All of a sudden I can't find Loot Studios. lootstudios.com. Right, why is it? Oh, because right. So the Rise of Draconians has dropped, and they look absolutely awesome. And it's this picture here. That I thought that was a 5-headed dragon. And it's actually a 6-headed dragon. You can just see down there, there's a black head. And I've been thinking for ages about how to do the heads. And I never thought there'd be an image. And I thought, obviously, I'll do the red one, a blue one, and a green one. And then I thought about a black one. And then I thought, do I want to do a yellow one? But that one doesn't look too bad, does it? So the other thing I've got, oh, why did I just close that down? Oh, sorry guys. History. Right, back to my loots. So this is the other one I bought, Phoenix Forge. This I've not printed anything off, but the Phoenix just looks absolutely amazing. I have looked at him on 75mm. He's far too big. Just one piece doesn't fit on my printer, which is the base. So I thought, well, I'll either have to do 32mm version, or I'll have to do a 75mm and do a different base. But I think I'll probably do the 32mm. So the other thing that I've done it again, haven't I? Now this is the bit I'm not too sure about. So this Valhalla thing they've got, you have 3 tribes. Each tribe has their own characters, and they have their own ship. So this is Ascalon, and these are their characters. I don't know if you can have more than one, but that's them. And then you have their ship, and you can see, look, the scale. If you look at the scale of it, that's the characters, and then that's the ship. So you can fit all of those characters on the ship. And I thought, what we can do is I can get a few characters printed off, and then we can get those painted up. And then if I do, say, 2 or 3 print beds a week for the ship, then we can get the ship done. And you've got some other bits and bobs as well to paint. And then you've got the Ice Tribe. Load up. This is their ship. And then you've got all the various characters. Now the only thing I've got a problem with is, by the time we've done all of the characters and 3 ships, will it start to get too much? You know, doing the same thing over and over. So that's what I'm worried about. You've also got some monsters, and there's some pretty awesome ones. You've got, I can't pronounce half of these, but there's some pretty interesting characters. I do like that griffin. I like the way that the griffin has these brown and white, pretty much like a bald eagle, aren't they, the feathers? Valkyries. So yeah, I thought about doing that next. So let me catch up with the chat. Dominic says, I'm not participating in that 48-hour construction weekend. Is there any particular reason you're not able to? And then Athol says, Vikings, brilliant moves, Penny. Well, yeah, because there's a hell of a lot of content, and in addition, I don't think I've ever painted Vikings. So, and I'm wondering if that would be a good candidate for speed paints. Right, have I just turned that music down too much? Or has it stopped? Yeah, it's a new track. Right, anyway, let's get on with this. So, all I really need to do, I don't have to paint this, but I don't like the way that it is actually visible, just a little bit, if you hold it underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do that an all over coat of a single solid coat. This arm there, I don't think that really needs doing. I think that's alright, but this bit definitely does. So I'm going to paint over that with the bandage colour and then just slap a wash over it. And I think that's that part of the model done. This music is either really too loud or too quiet. Right, and then what I'll do is I'll slap a varnish over this. I'm going to try out the brush varnish. I've got VMS's varnish, and one thing I was thinking of was I'll just spray a load of varnish over it, and then tomorrow I could just give it a really fine sand and then give it another coat. But I thought, let's try the brush varnish, because the worst case scenario, I can just sand it down so it's flat, and then put VMS over the top, can't I? So the only trouble is I cannot find, where have you hidden them, missus? I can't find my number 4. There we are, I've got it now actually. So that's not varnish, that is. Right, so what we'll do is we'll do the marble with the varnish. Before varnishing the chart base, try marble. I have marbled the base. It's done. I've just got to slap a coat over it. Or is that not what you meant? So, let's get this bit done. So, that is topaz skin, which I did get ready. And I'm just going to slap just an even coat over it. It is the underneath, but I don't want it to be grey. I'm one of these that, even if you're not going to see it, I don't want any grey on it. Let's find a biggish brush and some thinners. There we go. Oh, okay, that wasn't meant to happen. I took the lid off and it just sprayed everywhere. So far we're alright with the Vikings, are we? Once we finish Mr. Spear and Glue. Sorry, Ginjan, whatever his name is. Oh, that's a bit light, isn't it? On second thoughts, I think I'll put a wash over that. I'll probably slap what's the colour I'm looking for? Agrax Earth Shade. I'm going to call these Agrax Earth Shades, even though there's actually a bit thinner on there. Even though it's not called Agrax Earth Shade. What's it? Strong Shade, I think it's called. I know why it looks wrong. It's because I didn't use that colour for the absolute base, did I? Right. So what comes above, below? Warm skin tones. Sorry guys, I've got to go through all my paints that have flung all over my desk. Mulberry. Could actually still be in the rack. Sorry guys, I'm being really disorganised again. Well, I'm always disorganised, aren't I? Right. So my cat nearly got a clout this morning. I got up and I hadn't opened the craft door 5 minutes, and she had this jar of water all over the place. I was absolutely fuming. You know, when you get up in the morning and the first thing you got to do is tidy up after your cats. Not funny. Here we go. And now she's being all cute and rubbing against my feet. I don't know why I've mixed this now. Peeps, please. Don't get that, Sprue. Sorry, Sprue, forgot. I have no idea on... Oh, thumbs up. Yes, sorry. So Linda's joined us. Hi, everybody. And Athol says hi. How you feeling, Linda? We both worked very, very hard today. No problems admitting that. Right. Bandages, pale sand. And I really think that's all we've got to do. I can't think of anything else. And I'll just touch that up, and then I think we can call that done. Just touch up, sorry, just touch up, then add a shade in, and I think we'll call that done. And then I'll varnish the base. Just gonna take my glasses off, guys. Just make sure there's no actual grey showing. Might have gone in with a little bit too big a brush there, but actually no, I'll use the shade that I used on the rest of it. So this one is a black, and this one is the Agrex Earth shade. Oh, I remember there's something else I need to do. I got a little bit of overspill on the a little bit of squeeze out on the glue. So I think what I'll do is I'll get a little bit of the lighter skin shade, and I'll just kind of glaze it over. Hopefully just take away that shininess. Having said that, and I've just touched the pale sand. Having said that, I am planning on going over this. The reason I was thinking about using brush varnish was I was thinking about varnishing the whole model, but I don't really want to varnish the metalwork. So that's basically done. So let's have a little play with this varnish. Which is just gone. Right. I say we might need to knock it back a bit and smooth it out, but so the issue that I have, for some reason I cannot brush paint with aircraft model paints when I'm doing aircraft models, even varnishes. Although varnishes I do have a problem with anyway. Now I can't. I seem to be having trouble with airbrushing at the moment as well. I did clean my airbrush out. I gave that a really good soaking, and I think it might be okay. Right, let's do the top first. I think I might need more varnish than that. We may be joined by a cat in a moment. Trouble is with varnish, from your point of view, there isn't really much to see, is there? It just looks like wet paint with no actual colour change. Now, has anybody worked with wargaming paints? Are the same rules applying for varnishes? Do you need to let them sit for 24 hours? Or are the rules different? I know we always talk about drying and curing. You know, is it a 10-minute job? Right, where are we up to? So Linda's tired but still got orders and labels to do. Listen, I've still got a weekly update to do, and then I've got to be up early in the morning. Linda says, hi Athol. Hi Sprue. Dominic says, I have VMS varnish too, just don't know if it's any good. Listen, I've used it, but I used the first layer, went on really well, and then the second layer I obviously had a problem with my airbrush because it came out all spotty, which I think is the airbrush's fault. But it looks very simple, because it says shake well every use, 30 seconds, apply with an airbrush using a 0.4 nozzle or higher. This product doesn't require thinner but can be diluted with small amounts of acrylic thinners. Well, they say VMS acrylic thinners, but they would, wouldn't they? Right. Okay, he's starting to dry now. So let's give that a second coat. I just want to darken it a bit. Just give it a bit more of a colour match. This is just so that if you do pick the model up upside down, it's not going to look grey. I'm not worried about the holes. There we go. That's all it needs. So Linda says, well, don't stay up too late tonight, Penny. Well, rest is for the week. So advisable, that's regarding the varnish, isn't it? So I probably shouldn't be putting another coat on yet. See, that's dried. See, I don't really want to put this base on. Oh look, I've got hairs in my brush. That's not a good look, is it? Right, I think that's now going to have a light sanding. Actually, that's been put on too thin, I think. Yeah, so 0.2 needle, I'm going to suspect that's not going to work, because the varnish is a little bit thick. Right. Strong tone. That is the black. No, that's not black. That's brown, isn't it? So I've forgotten which one is black. It's not black, is it? It's called something else. We've got strong dark tone. This is me learning the paints. Dark tone. Dark tone is black, isn't it? Yeah, that's black. Right. So this is the black one. So I need some touch-ups on the fingers, which is a bit frustrating. So I ordered some speed paints. They've now been on order a week, and one thing I didn't read, I actually messaged the guy and I said, I can't get into, like, you can go onto his website. I've never heard of the guy before, and I said, I can't get onto the website to check my order. And he says, oh, that's got a 20-day turnaround. And I went, ooh. He says, it does say, oh no, he says it's got a 10-day turnaround. He says, I have put on the website it's got a 20-day turnaround. So he says, but that'll be with you at the middle of next week. So I said, well, it is what it is, isn't it? And I'm just touching up a couple of these areas that I might have missed. There we go. So guys, I am calling that. Oh, no, I have done them, haven't I? So guys, I'm calling it. Oh, hang on. More bits. Why is it the more you look at something, the more you find stuff you've missed? I think I'm going to end up calling this not my best work, but enough to call it done. I think that's pretty reasonable, isn't it? Just the very edges where they've obviously caught and the paint is rubbed off. So either I need to come up with a, sorry guys, I'm completely off camera there. This is actually practically a glaze. I can see that I just put my finger right in a puddle of paint underneath. There we go guys, would you be suicidal if that was your effort? That was probably a really terrible joke there, wasn't it? There is actually a bit of a gap there, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. There we go. Right. So I can't glue him on the base. I think the lesson learnt here is I should have done the base first, and then I could have attached him to that base. But that's not quite dry yet, but I can get on with painting the edge on that. Right, be right back, says Spoon Glue. Dominic says I had thinned it with Vallejo. Hey guys. Lindsay says hello everyone. Athol says Lord Dobby. Athol says hi unseen, and Exploring says hi Athol. So how are you all? Right, so I did see a black on my desk earlier. It was around about here. Don't know why, because I don't recall using a black. Unless I did use it. Yeah, I used it for my metallics. I hate this. I see a colour, and by the time now that's dark tone. By the time I actually come round to using it, I will double check it's not in my... I need wall racks. Well, that would explain why I can't find it. This is actually stored neatly away in the in my little holder thing. Kenneth says, hello Miss Penny and everyone else. I'm sitting here watching your live stream while I'm playing Star Wars Outlaws game. Sounds exciting. It's been so long since I played games. I don't even play FIFA and Red Dead anymore. I just don't seem to have the time. I'm not a massive games player, but I do love my FIFA, and I do love Red Dead because I can play that, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do on it. One day I might go out and just try and cause trouble. Other days I might just think I'm just gonna do trading. Another day I might just do bounty missions. I really have no idea what I'm gonna do. Well, that's not a terrible straight line. It's not perfect, but I think whoever agreed with me to do this black, I think was actually really good. I think keep it simple. I think that's actually quite nice because it's kind of outlined it, isn't it? Having said that, I'm probably going to end up doing another coat of varnish. I'm quite happy to have this black matte. I'm not sure how good it'll look, but I think it'll be okay. Too much paint on my brush there. Can't get that middle bit. An alternative, because I've got this little groove in there, is to perhaps do this a very dark grey, almost black, and then maybe stick a black wash in it. That might work. Definitely going to need another coat of varnish. mashed my brush up a bit there. Just trying to get just a little bit out of that last bit. You know, when you've not quite got enough paint on your palette, but you haven't got much to do, you just want that paint to last. So you just try and get most of that by by thinning it. Right. So every bit of model has got paint on it now. I'm okay with it. I mean, it's not going to win me any awards, and I'm not bothered by that. So Linda says hi Kenneth. Spoon Glue says hi Lindsay, exploring Kenneth, and Lindsay says few more likes for Penny, guys. Thank you very much. Right, there isn't really much I can do now. He's done. I'll put a matte varnish over the non-metallic parts, but there isn't much I can do here. Do you know, actually I might leave it like that. Do you see how it's not a full-on gloss? Because I thinned it, it's not a real shiny. Oh, I don't know. What do you reckon, guys? Full-on gloss or just a protecting gloss coat? You say it's not super shiny, but it's let me see if I can bring it close to the camera, if that'll help. Look, do you see how it's just got that? It's more than satin. So yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys. Hey Spoon Glue, Saver Gloss is nice. Saver Gloss. Right, let's get some matte varnish on this guy. Matte varnish. Let's clean my palette. I'm also going to make an effort, guys, to finish on time this week. Because like I say, I've got this job tomorrow. For anyone that's joined me recently, there is a possibility that tomorrow's stream may not go ahead. I have a private hire job. I can't believe I even said yes to it. The boss came up to me and he says, I thought I was in trouble because no manager ever takes me away for a private chat unless I'm in trouble. I'm just one of those people. Managers don't come up to me and say nice things to me. It's always, you're in trouble, what happened, so and so. And he says, oh, do you want to do a private hire job on Sunday? And I said, not really, I'm trying to pack. And he says, yeah, I know that, but I thought it'd be really handy for you. It is literally round the corner, and then I've got a 5-hour wait. So I've got to wait for 5 hours just around the corner from my house, and then pick them up and then take them back to where they're going. And I said, oh, when is it? I said, is it early or late? He says it's early. And I said, well, okay, what I can do, I can do some packing on that was, yeah, that mat seemed very thick. I said I can do some packing on Saturday. You know, I don't need to get a full night's sleep. But yeah, if I go out and I've got enough sleep to do a couple of hours driving, and then I can kip in the coach for 5 hours then, can't I? And he says, yeah, good idea. And then that might give me some time to pack on Sunday. Now the trouble is, I'm really seriously unmotivated. I have no issues telling you that. Half the reason why I have Linda come round, her main job really is giving me a kick up the butt to get me doing stuff. Otherwise I'd do 10 minutes packing, and then I'd spend an hour on YouTube, and then I'd probably spend the next 4 or 5 hours on Loot Studios or something, and then I'd probably buy one of their packs and download it, and then I'd be starting to print it. And that's probably how I'd spend my day. And suddenly I'll get to the day before I'm supposed to move, and I'll be like, oh, I've not packed anything. And Linda got me so motivated last weekend, I was actually able to pack during the week. Not a massive amount, mainly due to work. I couldn't spend all day packing. That's not nearly enough varnish to do that model. It's quite thick, this varnish, isn't it? I'm trying to paint it on. Normally we say, when we put the varnish on, we say don't worry about the cloudiness, that will go when it's dried. But to me, in this particular case, that's an indication that it's not been applied evenly. So I'm trying to apply it so that there's no cloudiness. I'm just doing it as a protective coat. But obviously I don't want to get it on the metallics, because I don't want dull metallics. Do you know what? I'll tell a lie. That was enough varnish. Oh, hang on, I haven't done the top bit yet. Oh, thank you, Mark FX, for subscribing. So I've left the intestines bit to see if it'll give it a slightly different texture. If I'm not happy with the texture difference and the colour difference, then I'll just put a bit of matte varnish over that. The drawback is that obviously it's not going to, the colour's not going to be protected. But then neither is the metallic anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Right, Exploring says, oh, that looks like matte marble. Do you know what? Try adding a tinge of blue. I like that idea. Right, so Dominic says that looks like matte marble. Looks like that, looks nice to me, but up to you. Linda says, yeah. Well, back to it Thursday as time is ticking. And Athol says, you tell Linda if she disagrees, ask for your overtime, mate. Shh! I'm not paying her nearly enough as it is. I'm paying her slave labour rates, or as I prefer to call it, mates rates. 20, oh my god. I am getting so close. I'm 20 subs away from 1,000. I'm just going to look at that from in my own eyes. I'm actually 18 away. Oh my god, that's creeping up. What I need though is the watch time hours. Right, I'm going to go with that then. So, Athol, I'm going to try your little tinge of blue trick. But can I know where you are, so if it all goes wrong, I can come after you? So when you say a little tinge of blue, are we talking like hardly visible blue or just visible? Or are we going, oh my god, look at how blue that is? Right, so varnish. There we go. No, that's brush on primer. That's no good, is it? So what have I done with that? There it is. Right. So let's put some blue there. So if I added all of that blue, hardly visible. So I want it so that... Right. Let me put a lot of gloss varnish in. With a little touch of thinner, but I think maybe I added too much thinner last time. So let's put... Right. I'm calling that invisible blue. That might be too dark blue, right? Is that too much blue, would you say? I think that's too much blue there, isn't it? Perfect. Oh, that's brilliant. Right, so if this all goes wrong, I'm coming after you, Athol. See, on the one hand, I want to get this glued onto this base today, but I'm suspecting that what I'm going to have to do is sand it down a little tiny bit and give it another coat, especially as I haven't let this one cure. Do you know what, Athol? I'm not going to disagree with you on the blue, but I think maybe I should have used a bright blue, because I think it's like the blue sock in the washing machine thing. A trick I was taught many years ago was put a blue sock in your washing when you're doing white shirts. Well, you don't actually need to do that, because if I don't know if you guys know this, but you remember your anyone who uses washing powder, sorry, oh, up there, okay, anyone who uses washing powder, you will see little tiny flecks of blue in the washing powder. That is actually blue dye, and the reason they put blue dye in the washing powder is that little bit of blue, it reflects, is it not ultraviolet light, what's the other one, something that comes off the sun that causes the brightness. It's not, because ultraviolet is the reds, isn't it? But basically it reflects a certain wave band of light and it makes your things look cleaner. So, right, okay, that's probably been ruined by the finish. But you know, I just can't seem to varnish. I think for me, varnish is going to have to be strictly airbrushed. Right, okay, not a lot I can do at the moment then until that's dry enough to handle. So right, where are we? So Linda says, LOL Ethel, I'll do that if she doesn't pull her weight. Woohoo Penny, getting so close to your goals. Hardly visible, perfect, up down. Yeah, leave it alone for 6 hours. Right, end of stream guys, can't do any more. Just joking. Right, so I'm going to slip him onto there because he doesn't actually make contact with the side of the base, so he's safe to leave there. Right, so I'm going to have to finish him off properly another time. So let's make a little start on. I'm not going to put any paint on this today. I'm just going to get the prep sorted out. I should have done it before. So I had a little mishap today. I dropped the base. So we did have little bits of grass. So what I've done is I've cut all of the grass off. I might file it down further, and then we'll put some actual grass tufts on. I've also prepared the base. I don't think I can paint him with him attached to the base. So what I've done is I put little bits of rod in there. Now what I've done is I've looked at the legs, seen where the thick parts are, and then worked out roughly where they will go on the base. And then I've got my drill, and I've drilled through the base all the way through. Then what I've done is ignore these metal bits, guys, right, placed him on the base. Then I've turned it upside down, and then I've drilled back through the hole to make a small indent on his feet. Then I've drilled the holes in his feet. Bit of a long-winded way of doing it. And then I've stuck these in. I did have them long at one point, but I thought what I'll do is I will paint the base, and then I will paint underneath. Once I've done the underneath and the boots, he's good to go on the base. So I have been thinking very, very hard all week about colours, and I really don't know what to do. I want him dwarf-like. I want him old and wise. I've seen one video where he's actually made that little bit in there glowing, like it's some kind of magical. And I'm thinking, he looks to me like a dwarf he's been on a lot of adventures. You know, he's old and wise. You can tell he's old and wise from the way he's smoking his pipe. I'm thinking maybe doing white hair. I do like my dwarfs with ginger hair or orange hair, but I think in his case he should be white. And I want him, you know, he's picked things up on the way. You know, he's been on these adventures, and he's probably got a trick or two up his sleeves. And as you can see, he's got bottles of stuff, so, and he keeps that with him all the time, so it's obviously something special in there. I don't think that's a bottle of Jack Daniels and a bottle of Johnny Walker in there. Yes, I thought about doing that actually, Athol. Painting red across the foot and attached to the base, then center the... I mean, the good thing about these, they've actually got indented bases, so you already know where it's going to go. There's his feet, and there's his stick. And if you look on some of these other bases, this is the one for the troll. This isn't quite so plain, but there's a hole there, and there's one there. There you go, look, there's his toes. So you already know where it's going to go, so there's no issues with placement. These smaller ones are a bit harder because they're small, but you've got this guy, you see that you've got a little hole there and a foot goes there, so his second foot goes on the rock. And then this one, you can tell from his pose that he's going to have one foot on this tree stump. And then, can't find it. Yeah, that's where I thought it was. There. It's a very small indent. So these Loot Studios, sorry, tell a lie, his hand's on there. Like that. So these Loot Studios, I really like them. I was watching a few videos on which of the subscription services are the best, and I'll be honest with you, before I got rid of these pirated files, I did have a look through quite a lot of them, because I thought, well, what could be useful? There's about 6 or 7 different companies' pirated files in there, And then I thought, well, this will be a good opportunity for me to have a look at what the quality is like, and then I can switch subscription services if I feel that I'm not getting the quality that I'm after. Now, let me change my view because I'm talking, not doing anything. So basically what the video has, it's about 3 videos I saw rating these subscriptions. Now, one of them rated Loot Studios quite low. Another one rated them, I think, number 2. And the other ones kind of put them in the middle. But what they all said was, you've got to go for the subscription services that works for you. Now, there's one subscription services, they're quite grim and quite dark, and if that's what you're after, that's a subscription service to go for. I'm now just made my second payment yesterday. They've thrown loads of freebies at me, and I know that everyone throws freebies at you. They do these big spectacular models every now and again, you know, like that Valhalla. I mean, the ship. There's another ship one I'm getting. I've got the Tavern for free. You've got a nice mix of FDM and resin. They do some silly projects with some of the stuff they do. They've got this, I've forgotten his name, but it's a dwarf blacksmith. And what they did was, do you know what, Dominique? I wish they were, but now I've got a surprise in the new year for you. I have got about 4 of those boxes. They are full of Warhammer figures, all chaos. There's a lot of unbuilt figures, and I was kind of turning my back on Warhammer. And I have a friend, I won't mention names because I don't want to embarrass anyone, but I have a friend. He's working very, very hard. He's a very good painter. I mean, the story I'm going to tell is the story of a lot of people, but he's working very, very hard. He works for a guy during the day. He works for himself in the evening just to try and make a bit extra money. They're living in an area where rent is high. He's got a couple of young kiddies, and he doesn't have a lot of money. And it's a real treat when he can get down and paint his figures. And I've had he's a really nice player of Warhammer, and he just can't afford the figures as much as some people can. So I said to him, do you want all these figures? And he went, no, it's okay. So I got 5 boxes worth of figures. So they'll make an appearance on the streams one day if I can get through all the Loot Studio stuff. Anyway, John Alex Scale Modern says, hi Penny and all in chat, how are you? Hi John Alec and Zoe. And Bearded Veteran says, weirdly those boxes make a great backdrop. And like I say, I wish they were full of models. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the Loot Studios, and they've got so many good packs. I mean, I only subscribe to the fantasy, I don't do the sci-fi. Sorry, excuse me a sec, I'm going to take my jumper off. It's really hot today. Oh. Sorry, I'm really sweltering. I think my halogen heat is broken, so I can't have it on one bar. The middle bar's broken, and the way it goes is middle bar is 1, switch it onto 2, the outer bars come on, and then 3 is all 3 bars. Because that middle one's not working, it means that's 2 bars or nothing, and it's a really powerful heater. And plus I've had the old blood, as you can see, the old blood's been circulating today. So yeah, I'm really enjoying Loot Studios, but you know, if Loot Studios has come out top out of 2 subscription services. So yeah, there's loads of others out there. So as I say, I did have a little look. I haven't got the files anymore. I got rid of them. I had a little look at them, and to be honest with you, I'm happy with the subscription service, and I think you guys are as well, aren't you? But like I say, I will be doing the Valhalla series. Right, so shall we get some primer down? So I'm going to keep it nice and simple. I'm going to get, whoops, excuse the mess. Can you see why I can't find anything, guys? So, because I might not be streaming tomorrow, and because on the next stream, which might be Thursday, I may have my, I need, Linda, why did we throw all those boxes away? So, Linda, I'm not embarrassing anyone, I'm trying not to anyway, and you guys will know all about this. Linda sent me a link to a Facebook post about a guy that had made a spray booth out of cardboard. And Linda had said, oh, that's a really good idea, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's gone, but your spray booth's a lot better. I said, yeah, that's because that's why I've done it that way. Right, so this is my very makeshift. This is actually my 3D printing barrier. So what I've been doing is I've been using this for scraping my prints. So I need some cups. So I am really enjoying using AK Interactive for primer. The one drawback is it does have to be thinned. So what I'm going to do is, doesn't need thinning an awful lot, but it does need to be thinned. It's the reason I bought the AK Interactive. Well, there's two reasons actually. One is I was having a bit of a struggle getting the Stylorez, and I really like Stylorez primer. I've been using it for a while, and I really like it. The reason I started using it, I used to use Vallejo primer. Don't judge me, guys. These, by the way, these brushes, these are kids painting brushes. They're absolutely perfect for mixing work, with mixing paints, because you can literally clean them in one swoosh in the water. Right, I'm going to use my brand new Galeri Jihad 68, and the reason I'm going to use this is I'm only priming, nothing special. Absolutely nothing special about it at all. And the way I'm trying to prime anyway, it's a three-stage process. So you first of all dust the model, just get coverage, just get a little bit of primer all over. Just to get some primer down. Okay. So yeah, so I used to use Vallejo primers, and I'd shown the zenithal highlighting off on a group. I need to find that group. It's women in war games or something like that. Women war gamers. It's I don't think the community's as bad, but it used to be a little bit of a, oh, you're a woman, what do you know about war games kind of approach. I don't think it's as bad now, but it was a bit of a safe place, and it was nice. Anyway, so I'd done this zenithal primer, and someone had commented on how the white was a little bit speckly, and that's quite common for Vallejo, and they suggested Stylo-Res. So that's what I got, and the results were brilliant. Now, in hindsight, what it probably was, it was probably my ability to use an airbrush for priming, and I probably wasn't quite that good, wasn't 100%. And right, so this is a second coat, and what we're doing now is we're looking for full coverage. Don't know what's going on with my airbrush. And I think that by the time I'd got the primer, the new primer, it was just my ability was a bit better. But I've stuck with it, and it's a good primer. But when I was starting to run out, I was looking for it, and I either can't find it, or it's vastly expensive. And I've seen something about AK Interactive, and I don't mind trying new stuff when I'm running out. And I bought it, and I like it. And one of the reasons I like it, it's actually a pretty good brush-on primer. Not perfect, not as good as Army Painter, but Army Painter only comes in grey. And if you want to brush on sand or black or grey or white, you can. And I quite like it. But it's not hassle free. I actually don't enjoy priming as much as I used to. I think that's why I zenithal prime, because it does. Zenithal priming is there anyone here who doesn't know what zenithal priming is? Because if it's anyone that doesn't know, I'll go a little bit more in depth. One of the good things about primer is it's very, very forgiving. If you paint unevenly, it will dry uneven. Primer, you can put it on a little bit uneven, and it will just kind of level, and it kind of goes. That penny, she can't airbrush very well, but never mind, I'll sort her out. Right, so from a third layer, I'm just going to thin that primer down a little bit more, and I'm going to apply what's called a wet coat. So you'll see that the primer on there has dried pretty quickly, because I put a nice thin layer on. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to thin it a little bit. By thinning it, it means you can get any nooks and crannies that I may have missed. It can get in there a little bit easier. And what we're going to do, as the name might suggest, okay, what is going on? Come on. There you go. Right, so we're going to do what we call a wet coat, and we're going to put that on wet. It's a little bit thinner. It's going to get in any nooks and crannies that we've missed, and it's actually going to look wet when we've done it. Like so, and then it goes down there. And it takes longer to dry because it's wetter, but it means that we've got the coverage any bits that we might have missed, like details in the face. And these loop, this is one of the disadvantages to the Loop Studios. The detail on this is amazing, which makes it so much harder to prime. Right guys, do you want me to go into a little bit more detail on the zenithal priming? There we go. So you see it's quite wet, but it's really got into, there shouldn't be any parts that I've missed, apart from any bits that I might have just touched. Excellent, happy with that. So I'll try and clean my brush out, and well, this kill team I bought has Nurgle warriors to add to one of my chaos armies. Oh no. Oh, that's right, I thought I'd run out of cleaners. Nice. I haven't painted a lot of non-corn. But when I did the, I keep forgetting his name, Archaon, is it? Obviously it's got 3 different heads. One's a Nurgle head, and I really enjoyed it. And then I started to buy a little bit of Nurgle figures, mainly because it's a complete, you know, it suddenly dawned on me that all I ever do is paint red, black and brass, right, which is fine, I love the colours, but when that's all you're painting, it's suddenly you know, when you suddenly discover there's green out there. And I'm like, whoa, and I almost got into, is it Dark Angels in 40k that are green? I almost got into them, because it is complete opposite of red, isn't it? Sorry, I cheat a little bit when I clean my brushes out, hairbrush. I just backflow it. Right. So anyway, so it has Nurgle warriors to add to one of my chaos armies. Celia bought a new set of wheels for her car. Nice. What, actual wheels? We aren't talking wheels for models. One of the bad things about the, or negatives I have about this this Galleri airbrush is you can't put it in there very easily. I'm trying to clean it out with my spray out pot, and it's because it's always going to hit that trigger unless you kind of maneuver it a bit. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, but that's the way it is. So I'm seeing all these reviews on Galleri airbrushes, and I'll be absolutely honest with you, it's a nice airbrush. I'm not totally convinced at the long termness of it. You know, they haven't been out that long. Iwaters, I know Iwaters are expensive, but they've been out a long time. Harder Steenbeck, they are, this is the drawback of putting primer on wet. Oops. But this one is nearly dry. So all I can do is chit chat with you, I'm afraid, guys. So yeah, so Celia bought it, so that is me caught up. No, it isn't. It isn't. Sorry, guys. Linda, we didn't throw that many. We didn't actually. Well, you're pretty good at turning your hand to almost anything, a bit like a... no, yeah, do you know what? I'll take Jack of all trades. In that I can do a lot of things to a certain standard. These, like this desk and the shelves that I made, they are by no means professional carpentry. All of the joints are 3 bits of wood. I should be cutting miters and things. All I've actually done is I've got 3 bits of wood, and I've got put one on top of the other, drilled that in, then I've put another one in, so I've drilled this one to the upright, and then that one, the upright to that one, so there's kind of 3 points of contact. It means that I lose a lot of space because I've got a few inches all around that I can't use, and when I put shelves in, they have to be notched out. But I have got a desk where I put everything on. You know, if you cover it all in a bit of wood, no one notices that your joints aren't professional. So, come on, dry. Do you know what? Don't know what song this is, but I hear aeroplanes in the background. Right, just drying me priming off. I'm cheating by using my airbrush. It's an okay cheat. I see it as cheating now. So this particular model has two drainage holes, and if you get your airbrush up there just right, it makes a tune. Right, that is almost dry. Guys, don't forget the link is at the top. You can join us if you wish. And who shut the door? One of my cats has shut the craft room door. I'm sure it wasn't on purpose, but do you know what, Spirit? Because I've got little windows in my craft room door, and sometimes the door's open. Spirit will kind of come up and she'll just sit there going like this, but she's not coming in. The door's wide open, it's actually facing towards my spray, but she's like this, and I look out and I go, what are you doing? And she looks at me, meows, and then walks off. So I don't know, she's a strange one. Right, so I think, no, I have run out of grey primer, grey Stylo-Res. Right, so Zenithal Highlight, Zenithal Priming, for those that you do not know, it's, can someone do me no, it's going to be a long definition. So a zenithal, let me just Google it so I can give you the correct definition. There's 2 meanings, one is completely irrelevant. Right, so zenithal priming is a priming technique, painting technique that involves applying 2 colours to a miniature to create the illusion of light and shadows. The miniature is first primed with a dark colour, and note it said a dark colour, then sprayed from above with a lighter colour at 45-degree angle. This technique can be done with an airbrush, spray can or dry brushing. The result is a miniature with more depth and detail, making it look more realistic. And in addition, it does bring out the detail. Let me show you that as a start point. Okay, there's about as much visible detail there as it was unpainted. Okay, so I normally use a 3-stage technique, 3-stage zenithal, black, grey and white. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to do the grey from a lot lower down, and then I'm going to do an all over white dry brush. And the reason I'm doing a dry brush is because I want to do the speed paint. So it's basically slap chop. Now this is a technique that until now I didn't agree with for my situation. I'm not interested in speed painting. I'd rather put the extra effort in and get it done to a higher standard. I'm about the painting, not about the playing. Now it's generally accepted that you want to get paint on your rank and file troops, and then you put the extra effort into your HQ troops. Do you know what? There it is. Do you know what? I don't think that's going to be enough. However, I will be happy to put in as much effort into my rank and file troops as the whole general of the whole army, because I want to paint. Like I say, I'm not interested in playing. And if I paint, the way I see it, the quicker I paint my armies up, the more expensive it is, because as soon as I finish one, I want to get on with the next one. And if it takes me longer, it means I'm saving a lot of money, doesn't it? However, slap chop or speed painting or contrast paints, it seems to have a bit of it's a different technique, and it produces results. So I want to give it a go, not because I want to get it done quicker, but because I want to use that as an aid. Right, so basically for the base, it isn't going to be spectacular because there's not that much detail in the base. But what we're essentially doing, sorry guys, you're not going to see, is we're going to hit this base with the grey at a 45-degree angle. Okay. Now, because there isn't a massive amount of detail, it's kind of pretty much done the same thing as the black, but you can see it's picked up some of the detail. You can start to see the flowers, right? But where it will really have an effect is on the figure. So I'll give him a light spray. Can always go back and do more. Can you see how that detail is really starting to pop? Such an immediate effect. Now I do want to bring it down a little bit further than normal. God, my hands are going to need scrubbing tonight, aren't they? I do normally put gloves on. Now the drawback is that underneath is completely black. But if you've ever used speed paints before, you will see that will work really well for the speed paints. Okay, that is where it really does come into effect. Now I'll go over that in white a little bit later once that's dried down. Now, as I say, I've not done this, and I've not I've not used speed paint before, and I haven't got them yet, so I can't use them today. But what I have from what I've seen, you do a white dry brush all over, and then you go in, you do another heavier dry brush on the front and the top, pretty much the zenithal. And I think that is, until that's dried, I don't think there's much else I can do tonight, guys, but it's 10:30, so that's all right. So that has pretty much filled. See, that's my real skill, Linda. I can fill a 2-3 hour show talking drivel. When you think what I've actually done tonight, I normally do this with hot water. Sorry guys, I'm off camera, aren't I? So for the benefit of you that can't see, I'm cleaning my airbrush out. I'm using thinners and water. because I can use thinners, because I make my own. It's like a fraction of the cost of cleaners. If I think my airbrush is a little bit on the filthy side, I might just run a couple of drops of tool cleaner through it. And I'm quite tempted to run tool cleaner through this Galeri airbrush because I want to see if it can take it. I do want to punish this Galeri airbrush because when I was a beginner, I really did punish airbrushes. I punished them in the sense that I didn't really have a clue what I was doing. Although I tell you what I did learn very quickly is how to clean an airbrush when you've left paint in it all night. Yeah, I learnt that one. When you have a 200-pound airbrush and it's full of paint and you do not have the money to just chuck it away and buy another one. Okay, so that's what he looks like just with the grey on, and as you can see it's just picked up so much detail. So there's now things on there that, I mean, I've had to look closely at what things are, but you can see some detail on the bottom of his cape. You can see all these beautiful folds. Now the speed paints don't work so well on flatter areas, but it's going to love that bit there and that bit. So guys, as I've got half an hour and I've got nothing else to do you want to discuss colours with me? Because I really don't know what to do. I thought maybe a purple cloak, because purple, obviously I'm trying to slip a little bit of purple ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah, but I didn't have an ultrasonic cleaner back then either. Right, where are we up to? So very good. Hi Athol. Wheels for her M3B. Oh, show off for the BMW. Look at you. Oh no, I don't know. And BMWs are one of those ones that they're nice cars, but I'd probably never go and buy one. Linda says yes, but the stuff you make works. Yeah. Chris Creates, how are you? Hi Penny and everyone. Just finished my Titanic model, uploading the file. I look forward to that. I've been watching your Titanics and I've really enjoyed them. You don't need to be on camera to talk drivel, LOL. And then ultrasonic cleaner. Right, so guys, what I'm thinking is this outer cloak to be purple, maybe blue on the inside, but what do I, in fact actually I might do blue for his inner cloak. We'll do purple both sides. Robes creamy brown, cloak brownish purple, bindings grey browns. So creamy brown would be like my light neutrals, like these. Not that one, that's a very bright one, but that's one of the light neutrals. Cloak brownish purple, so what would that be? A ruddy brown with a bit of purple chucked in, and bindings grey browns. Athol, you need to go far simpler than that for me. Right. So what I'm liking about this one is he's got skin. I don't like skin because I'm not very good at it. But at the same time, I think I need to do more skin because the more I do, the better I get. So he's not got a lot of skin. Now, he has the eyes and he's too large. Now, a trick I was taught is if he is... well, I don't know, he's 32 mil. Do you know? Did anyone actually know what 32 mil means? It's your model. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I thought if I chuck some ideas at you, because one thing I don't get is if you do this colour, you can't use that colour, and then you've got to use that colour, And if you can use what do you call them, opposite colours, it works really well. So if you can get a model with red and green in it, that works. So where's my, I got a colour wheel, so I'm treating myself to, here it is, I treat myself to a colour wheel. Now obviously, as you guys know, I like purple, so the opposite of purple is yellow. So I could perhaps do a violet cloak with a yellow underneath, or maybe go red violet and go more for the yellow greens, or perhaps I could use the triads. We could go purple with green and orange, but he's got two cloaks, but then again, what's wrong with just going, I like this colour and that colour? I just get the impression that what he has just been collected up over the years. So that cloak, that might be given to him by some elven lord that he helped in a battle or something. I don't know. But it looks simple in the sense that you've got skin, hair, wood, leather pouches, bottles, and then you've got your cloaks. So it's not like there's lots and lots of complicated details, is there? So I don't know, I keep trying to think about it, but I don't know what to come up with. But as I say, I do want to try and put purples in it. Saying that, he's got these little bits coming down there. I suppose they could be purple. My trademark is trying to get purple in. So, if we use the triads, greens and oranges? I don't know. Blue, greens, what did you say? Creamy browns. So that'll be down that way a bit. Creamy browns. Brownish purple. Oh, you're already on it, aren't you? So creamy browns are going to be round about there, aren't we? Brownish purples are down there. And grey browns, well, could be greeny browns, couldn't it? Greenies. So if I'm going for the inside, if I go for the inside of this colour wheel, it's going to darken it a bit though. I think of dwarfs as quite bright. Does anyone disagree with that? I mean, obviously it depends on their role in life. Dwarven miners, they would be a little bit dull, wouldn't they? Because they're mining all the time. But he looks like, I don't know, he's just saying a lot of magic about him. Anyway, guys, I'm going to actually finish the stream a little bit early because I don't think I can do much productiveness in the next 20 minutes. So what we'll do is next stream, oh God, what happens if I could stream tomorrow and my speed paints haven't come? Well, they won't have come tomorrow because it's Sunday. So I think, right, what we'll do tomorrow is we'll do his base. Actually, we could do his base now. No, let's do it tomorrow. So yeah, we'll do the base tomorrow. We'll finish off this guy's base as well. And that is actually not looking too bad. Now it's starting to dry. There are brush marks in it because I am shocking at glossing, but I might knock that back with a really fine sandpaper. What have I got? I think I've got 1500 grit. Yeah, if I knock that back with 1500 grit, just a gentle sanding, Vallejo green grass slime. No, I do not. I have got... Let's have a look at my effect paints. See if I can get away with using any of those. Because I would like to try and use them. I've got a couple of paints that I can't imagine me ever using. I've got rust effects, which are totally inappropriate for this one. I've got... Now, these I can see me using. These are the glowy ones. What I was thinking was use the greens and the yellows on his potion bottles. Try and make them sort of half filled full of glowing liquid. That might be fun. I've got blood, which again I think is not necessarily appropriate for this particular model. I've got oh, actually that might be a good one for his water bottles. I'm thinking, damn, I've forgotten the name. What's that explosive stuff from Game of Thrones? Dragon, no, something fire, something anyway. It's what they used at the Battle of Blackwater, is it? And what the Mad King was using. But I can visualise that. I need something to paint this on, so I'm going to have to use the... If that's a smooth paint, what I'd call a paint, then I think that's... What do you think, guys? That doesn't seem textured. Let's give it a slight thinning. What do you think? That has got to be magic potion colour, isn't it? That and the yellow. Highlighting it with the yellow. So, yeah, I think I might keep... you need textures paint, add sand. Oh, well, you're talking about the bases though, aren't you? Well, the base is textured. It has got a texture to it. So I'm quite happy to go. To be honest with you, well, right, here's the thing. I have got an old, somewhere, an old Army Painter bottle of paint of mud. But I think it's dried mud. And what I'd really like is a combo, because I had I think it was AK Interactive, I had the wet mud and the dry mud. And I did a forest troll. And I did like a track behind him of dried mud. But where his feet had just been, I'd put the wet mud, and that looked really good. Now I did find, it is somewhere, I don't know where at the moment, because you know what I'm like. I've got dry mud, but I haven't got anything wet mud. And I think it's one of the ones that I got from one of my monthly subscription boxes. Like Loot Studios, but obviously you get physical products. I don't know, I really need to... I'm going to organise my paints for tomorrow, guys, I promise you. But yeah, a lot of this for me is an exercise in using new paints and see what they come out with. So I think I'll keep the base simple, and then obviously we'll do the flowers. I'll come up with some idea about the flowers. And then we'll stick some tufts on there where the grass used to be. I might need to take these grassy bits down a little bit more. But I think keeping that fairly simple. I like the idea of doing that muddy, because then you've got a few grass tufts and some flowers. So life is starting to come out of nothing. I'm quite liking that. Yeah, and I'm just, yeah, what other texture paints have I got? I've got oil stains, which is no good, and verdigris. And I can't see me ever using this one. Oozing vomit. So, yeah. There you go. I think that's going to go really well with that, actually. But as you see, look, they're not textured. I think they'll look really good on the water bottles. So, right. Okay, guys. So, excuse me finishing my ciggy. So that is just about it for me. So I've got a little bit to work on tomorrow. Vomit is a good colour for undergarments. Athol, I've got two trains of thought going through my mind. The first one is he winding me up? And the second one is, you might actually be right. Hang on, I think this one is... No, it's not. Do you know what? I don't think you're winding me up there. That's vomit. Just pull that out a little bit. But it's a little bit thick. That's the only trouble. And if you thin it, you're obviously going to need a lot more coat. It's a little bit, it's, you know, like that Yoo-hoo glue. It's a little bit like that. That's the only trouble. But it's got that nice see-through. Use it in conjunction with khaki. Yeah, this is why, you know, it's one of those statements where the first thing you think is, oh, he's winding me up. And then you think, oh, hang on a minute. And you give it a thought. And you think, actually, that might be right. So you've actually got me thinking there. What if I go for a neutral colour like that for his main robe, and then have the nice colourful one over the top? Maybe purple on the outside, yellow on the inside. And then or use my green and my orange. I don't know. See, this is how my brain goes. I think of something and I think, well, what if we did this? No, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to go yellow on the inside of the cloak. I'm going to go purple on the outside because I know that will go together, because they are my complementary colours. And I'm going to keep it neutral on the inside. Maybe let's go for middle light neutral. Skeleton bone. Skeleton bone. I like the idea of that one. Or the one down from skeleton bone. Tomb King tan. I just can't really see it too well. Maybe Tomb King tan then for his under. Sort of a strawy Hessian colour. What do you think to that? I think, do you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And then like this, there's areas by painting this, there's areas that I think I've done okay on. And there's areas which are good. Like, I don't now like that cobalt on his wrist. I don't think it works for me. It's nice, and I think I've painted it okay. I just don't think it works. So this bit, I just don't think it fits. The bandages, the black bandages, I think are terrible. But I've come away from this model knowing that there's areas I know I'm okay at and areas I need more work on. And one of the things I'm excited about this one is there's less skin, so I can really focus on trying to get the skin right. So whatever colour and after washes and highlights should be okay. I've just had a fantastic idea. Do you think that when I do these Vikings, if I did the Forest Tribe first, do you think that might be a good opportunity for me to try this Grimdark scheme, where you paint them a little bit brighter than normal, maybe use the speed paints, and then you slap a load of streaking grime all over them and you're trying to remove as much of it as you can, because I bought that to give it a go, and I think that would work well for the Forest Tribe, because I would imagine the Forest Tribe would be a little bit dirtier than the Ice Tribe or the Sea Tribe. I think the Ice Tribe would be a lot more browns, well, furs, so we could use white furs from polar bears, and the Sea Tribe would be no, I don't mean comically. What I mean is, so if you're painting, say, a red, you put the red on, and then you dull it down with the wash, and then you reinforce those main colours, and then you push some highlights. If you're doing it a Grimdark style, like I say, I've never painted Grimdark, I've only watched my YouTube videos on it. What you're going to do is you're going to push that a little bit brighter. So instead of using, say, your reds, you might push that even into the oranges, because when you do the streaking grime, it's going to dull it down a bit. So it's a little bit like turning the brightness up on the TV and then putting sunglasses on. It's going to have the same effect as watching normal TV without. That's probably a really bad analogy. But again, I think this is a really great opportunity for me to try new techniques, because these models are costing me a couple of quid to print, and if they go wrong, you either strip the paint off and start again, or a couple of quid you can just print another one off. Go, do you like that? I'll just do another one. Athol says you're funny. I didn't mean to be actually on that one. When I try to make people laugh, they're like, well, that wasn't very funny. And when I don't try to, they all laugh. So you're a strange bunch. Right, guys. So I'm leaving it there. If I'm going to be on for a little while, if anybody wants to jump on. Sorry, I've got everything's patched really closely here. We're trying to create space there, and everything's really close to me, so I've got no wiggle room. Right, so guys, tomorrow I will try my best. I can't really give you any times, because unless you know Glasgow, it's theoretically I should be home by I don't know where my phone is. I think I left my phone in the bedroom, but theoretically I should be home by about 7, maybe 8 o'clock. But I know how these private hires go. They come out late, they then want extra stops on the way, because in the morning I'm picking them up from one point, load them up, off we go, get off my coach, I'll see you at such and such a time. One of the worst things they can say, oh, Tiffany says, hey guys, just a quick pop by, say hello, can't stay as I'm waiting for. Oh no, hope everything's okay. But yeah, no, I'm just about to go now anyway. yeah, so you kick them all off the coach, you arrange to meet them at a certain time, and then what will happen is they always get a couple of people coming out late, and then they'll say, oh, can we drop them off here, and can we do an extra stop there? And the next thing you know, you're doing the tour of Scotland, and you're home 2 hours late, and you miss your stream. So I have set the stream up, and I certainly hope to make it. I may just be late, but I'm not in a rush to finish tomorrow night, so I would really like to be on, and I'd like to at least get this base done. And if as a bonus, if I can get him painted, in fact, I could just leave him. I could leave him black. I might just do. I might do him a dark grey and paint his boots, and then. But I'm going to have to do the underside of that cloak. Let me just pop him in there. Yeah, I can't get in that cloak with the base on, so well, that's simple enough though. Yeah, that would be simple enough. So yeah, if I can get the bottom of him done enough to get him stuck onto the base, that'll be an absolute bonus. Right, so Athol says hello Tiff, bad news, and then Linda says sending hugs Tiff. Right guys, so that's me calling it a day. Thank you very much for watching as always, and then hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, my next stream will probably be Tuesday and Wednesday, and then there will be nothing the week after because that's my moving date. And I'll be honest with you, there's that little bit I don't know if I'm actually moving, because I'm moving the week beginning the 16th of December. That's if the previous tenant moves out on the 15th. If I don't move, well, I'm actually going to be on holiday from the 6th of... Oh, guys! So, tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, I have a new series starting. It is officially Christmas on my channel from tomorrow morning. I have got a mystery advent calendar. So, watch every day. There has been a crime committed. Christmas may be ruined because Kris Kringle has disappeared. You have to put all the clues together and find who did it. There's new clues every day. Now, last year I did a little model build. I wanted to do another one this year, but I felt there were quite a few dull days. This year, this mystery, there is something to think about every day. I've actually filmed the whole series, and they gave me a badge because I solved it. But yeah, so tomorrow that's appearing. That'll be every day till 6 o'clock. All my usual content will stop. There will be a channel update in the evening, and that will be my last channel update until the 5th of January. So guys, with that, take care, and I will catch you hopefully tomorrow, but definitely on the 5th of December. Take care guys, bye bye.
Goes on a bit, doesn't it? Well, you've listened to it this far, but you probably won't again. So we'll be taking even less care from now on. The singing might go off a bit, and the words won't have to rhyme.
And there's no line here.